Hey guys, welcome to another edition of How to Do Your Podcasting Stuff. My name is Harold, the Film Geek. You might remember me from my YouTube channel here. We love Flicks Fix. The point of this channel is just to talk to you guys, the audience. I have learned a lot of things in all this time that I've been doing stuff on the web. And I thought, there's a lot of good stories to tell you guys that I find interesting. There's a lot of good knowledge that I've been able to acquire over all these many years of doing stuff that I wish somebody sat down and told me. And I want to tell you how to do the podcasting stuff. Now, if you've been watching these videos here, that it was just me telling you about what I've done. Microphones. I talked about how to be a little bit more professional on your podcast. I talked about the 4 horsemen of audio, which can be used for video as well, and how to clean up your audio and what to do to make your audio the best audio you can before you get it to your computer. And this is, I would consider to be one of the final videos, which is hosting your actual podcast. I know a lot of people sit down and they make it and they'll upload it to a site like SoundCloud and go, yes, podcast done. But the truth is, guys, there's tons of places that you can actually go to upload your podcast. Now, I'm not going to tell you all these websites. Not used all of them. I've used, I want to say, BeanPod or Podbean, something of that nature. They've changed their name so many times. And then I also use Buzzsprout, which is who I use now. And I'm not being paid by them at all. I just want to tell you guys about them. I also help them do like a tutorial video where I got nothing for it, but I just want to help them out because they make what I consider to be a superior product. Now, here's the thing about getting your podcast hosted. You can actually host it yourself. You can load a WordPress page on a website that you own, and you can load WordPress plugins, and the plugin will host your podcast. But the only problem is that one, it's using all of your bandwidth, and two, it's using all of your hard drive space. Now, I know a lot of these people say, oh, you have unlimited, but it's not unlimited. I've had several web hosts that say I had unlimited bandwidth and unlimited hard drive space. And then when they saw how big my podcast was, like, whoa, that's over a gig worth of information. No, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to do something because your podcast is pulling too much bandwidth per month. And I'm like, I can't do anything about it if it's popular. But when you get these actual podcast hosts, they're designed to take that media file and host it to the world around you. Now, here are some caveats you need to look out for on these guys. One, make sure that you own the rights to your stuff. And here's what I mean. I've seen some of these sites that sit down and they say, oh, we'll host your podcast, $5 a month. That's how it works. It's easy. Wrong, because here's the thing. You pay them $5 a month, but sometimes they put, I believe the term is a bumper or an ad before or after or in the middle of your podcast. They're like every 15 minutes they'll chop and they'll drop an ad into it. And then here it is, you're paying them $5 a month, your people being advertised to, and they're making money off of your off the ads. You're not making any money off the ads, they are. And you just don't really, it doesn't really work out, and it's not conducive to what you're trying to do. It's really bad for the podcasters that actually have ad revenue. Then it sounds like they're advertising for somebody else, and it could be a competitor and you can get in trouble. So you don't want to do that. The other thing is, make sure that you have access to your files. I've been to some places that once you upload it, you can't touch those files at all. They're like, they're gone. So if you don't have it locally on your computer, that's it. What I would do is just ask them, like, how do you get access to it? Because here's the thing. One day they may not be in business. You don't want to lose your entire inventory if they go out of business. Because here it is, my podcast, Flicks Fix, has been around for over 100 episodes. If my company that I'm paying right now to use went out of business today, I have all those episodes. But if, let's say, something were to happen and I didn't have those episodes and I go, oh crap, I need to download all those episodes, make sure I have them. They might go, hey, you got an RSS feed and you got to RSS feed it down. No, I need FTP access. I need something where I can just dial in and pull down the file. So make sure you check on that as well. And then lastly, get it in writing of how much you can actually upload. With the host that I have, you can upload so many hours per month, and then after that you get to pay, I think you have to pay them like, I think $2 extra for every, hour or 2 hours that you go over, which isn't bad because you're paying it as you go along. But there are some hosts out there that say, oh, as long as the file is less than 100 megs, then you're fine. Well, my MP3s that I use for the FlixX podcast can be over 120 megs easy, and that's 45 minutes about of audio, so it's very easily can be that size. And when they upload it, they do their compression and all that stuff so they can get it on their site. But if you upload it and it's over 100 megs, they'll either chop it or they won't let it upload. So just check the things, guys, read the fine print, and also make sure if you're doing this podcast stuff, make sure they have your best interests in mind. A lot of people do, but there are some companies that will sit down and they'll want to analyze it and they have to accept the podcast before it goes online. Just check everything. So that being said, guys, do your homework. Make sure you do it due diligence to figure out what works best for you. I don't want to give any recommendations. The only thing I can say is that I use Buzzsprout, but I can't give any recommendations on who to use because what you might need and what I need are two totally different things. So find out what you need, write it down, and go ahead and get it done. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Talk to you later.